Alright, this week I picked up Transformers War for Cybertron, which is a new Transformers game, not linked to any of the movies, any of the Michael Bay, crap that's come out in the last few years. So it's already a couple of steps ahead of the last few Transformers games that came out. As far as things go, it's pretty enjoyable to play. Being a giant robot that has weapons connected to it is always going to be a bit of fun to play, but it's a little bit disappointing that they didn't put a little bit more work into the sort of the single player campaign. It feels a little bit like you're just doing the same thing, going through the motions over and over again, fighting through wave after wave of enemy, locating a switch, getting to a sort of arena boss or mini arena boss, fighting, killing that, and then doing the same thing over and over again. It's a little bit disappointing, but it's fun, and the levels aren't too long. They're spaced in a pretty pleasing manner that doesn't mean you're going to get repetitive strain injury or anything from just button mashing the whole time. So it's fun, but it could have been a lot more fun. As far as graphics are concerned, it's pretty clean. It's not the greatest game, which was disappointing. With things like Transformers, it's all about visuals, seeing these massive machines transform and kick each other's butts. Sparks flying and everything. These, I suppose it's all Generation 1, so they're all sort of familiar to you, but it's a little bit disappointing in the way that everything looks the same. Everything's the same shade of gunmetal grey with either red or purple highlights, and the only way you can really know what it is you're supposed to be killing is depending on what campaign you're playing through. Whether you're an Autobot, then you have to kill anything that's purple, or if you're a Decepticon, you have to kill anything with red lights on it. And even that gets a little bit confusing at times, because there are sort of barrels around that glow red and everything like that. So everything ends up melting in together and getting a little bit sort of confusing and annoying when you're getting hit by an enemy that you can't even see.
My name is Optimus Prime.
The multiplayer was really one of the things that really drew me to this game in the beginning, when they said that you could build your own Transformer. I went into it expecting something like Armored Core or something like that, so it was pretty disappointing getting in there and seeing that you only had preset models that you couldn't swap and change parts and bits from. That was a little bit disappointing, but the gameplay's still pretty fun in the multiplayer sections. You run around, you can do sort of elimination and team deathmatch things. A bunch of other modes that I haven't checked out yet, but there's also sort of a like a Gears of War Horde mode called Escalation, where you just basically sit around and or run around and fight off wave after wave after wave of Decepticon or Autobot, depending on who you play as, which is actually a lot of fun, and it's a lot of actually a little bit therapeutic, smashing through a Decepticon with your giant axe. Which probably says something about me.
Autobots, roll out!
Overall, I think it's an enjoyable game. It's not must-buy or must-have by any stretch of the imagination, but if you're a Transformers fan like I am, and you like to see stuff blow up, and you really want to get into the feeling of being a Transformer and sort of fighting as a Transformer, then this game is a pretty decent purchase. It's not going to have a massive shelf life unless you really get into the multiplayer mode, because I think there's 4 different types of Transformers you can play as, each that have apparently a different play style, but it really just depends on if you want to play as different Transformers, or whether you want to go in there as Optimus Prime and just kill everyone. Overall, I'd say it's a recommend, and if you're not a Transformers fan, I'd say probably still check it out, because it is a fun game to play through.